Hey, this is Troy Taylor with the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast, sponsored by First Down Playbook, Rack Coach, Tip of the Spear, The Top Hopper, Sports Workbook. This is a segment that we started doing this weekend, and it's called Coach, where we will be answering specific questions. And the specific question for today is, how does a football staff become a family? How does a football staff become a family? All right. So when we talk about family, the first thing that kind of pops in my head is a movie called Peanut Butter Falcon. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. It's kind of like a modern day Huckleberry Finn, I think. But it's a story about a young man who has Down syndrome, and he breaks out of this old folks' home that they're making him live in. And the two things that he learns on his journey is, well, there's a part of the story where he's trying to swim across the river, but he can't swim. And the guy that he finds, who's kind of like, a convict, uh, the kid with Down syndrome asks, his friend, "Am I going to die?" And the convict guy goes, yes, you're going to die. But what kind of story are they going to tell? So that was the first thing. Then the second thing was, friends are family that we get to pick. Friends are family that we get to pick. So when you're talking about, how does a football staff become a family? Mike Spencer taught me, who I coached with the Virginia Union and at LC Bird. How do you show people you love them? Time and attention. So, how do you become a family? I think there has to be love. And, that isn't developed overnight. It's trust. Doing what's right. Do your best. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you're like my family, heck, me and my brother, we fought every single day growing up. But when it comes to football staffs, if you're new to taking a job, I think just thinking about Coach Grow, watch the Coach Grow podcast. He talks about his tribe. He talks about OOUs, one of us, instead of OOTs, one of them. So if you're an OOU, one of us, then you're one of our family. You're one of our tribe. And it's easy to see at Bird because there's such a tradition of guys who went there and played there, and their family members played there, and their dads and their uncles and their brothers. So if you're new to a job, which the guy that asked me this is a couple years into this job, it's not easy. And on a football staff, it's kind of like the military. At the top is the general, and then under the general, he's got his commanders, his coordinators, and then under his coordinators, he's got his his assistant coaches, and then under assistant coaches, you got the players. So it's kind of like a family. There's a chief. There's a big man at the top, and it makes me think of my friend Mike Fanoga, who's a Hawaiian, and he'd call everybody chief or big man. There's somebody that's at the top, but it isn't about the person who's at the top. It's about the team. It's what's best for the team. And, I guess that's the same way in a family, is you do what's best for the family. You don't always do what's best for one person. So, when the coaches are bought in and the coaches have spent time and they care and they put everything they have into something, it's easy. It's easy when you're in the foxhole with somebody. It's easy when the person is in the arena with you. It's hard when you may have an assistant coach who's not in the foxhole. They haven't been there very often. They kind of see themselves as an OOT, one of them. So it makes me think of Mike Smith, who's won 12 state championships, over 500 games with the Hampton Crabbers. And he talked about his staff. He had one of the best staffs of all time. Alvin Mann, Danny Mitchell were some of his coaches. And he said there's three things that you look for in assistant coaches. One, they love the kids. Two, they love the game. 3, they love the school. So, if you have that, you got something special. You got a guy who loves the kids and loves the game and loves the school. You got something special. So, and I hear some stories of there's coaches who they coach JV or ninth grade, and they might not get the same respect as a varsity coach. If hopefully if you coach in our program, that everybody gets the same gear. Everybody gets the same this or that, and one guy's job isn't more important than another guy's job, because heck, if you're a JV coach or a freshman coach, you're very, very important. You're important for the success of that program. So, I don't think you can have, these guys are better than those guys type mentality. So, how does a football staff become a family? I'd say time, adversity, sticking together. You can't have people running off every time, something, doesn't go their way. So I hope I answered that the best that I could. This is Hey Coach, the Championship Football Coaches Clinic. Thank y'all. Like it, share it if anybody can use it, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all.